Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Ini, and in this video I'm sharing with you something I did with one of my illustrations. I turned it into a diamond painting. Now, before we get started with the video, here's a disclaimer. I was approached by Craft Ease with the offer of a free kit, either a paint by numbers or a diamond painting kit, in exchange for a video review. Although I was sent this kit for free, the review I'm about to share with you reflects my own opinions. So, I'm first going to be unboxing the kit that I chose, and then I'll be doing the actual diamond painting while talking about this whole experience. Let's start by talking about shipping first. The kit took about 2 weeks to arrive to the UK, and from the shipping label, I can see that it was sent from China. They mention on their website that their processing time is 2 to 7 days, which was accurate in my case, and the international shipping time is 7 to 20 business days, so I feel that this parcel arrived quite fast. The packaging did get a bit squashed during shipping, but nothing major as it is a soft cardboard packaging and the product inside is not fragile. Nothing arrived damaged, only the canvas was a bit more marked, probably due to it. Inside the package I received a 40 by 40 cm canvas with the artwork, which is the size I chose, a pack containing all the diamonds for the painting, a small Ziploc bag with the tools needed to do the diamond painting, and paper instructions. The Ziploc bag with the tools includes a tray for the diamonds, which has a tip to allow you to easily put the diamonds back into the little bags they come in, 2 single round applicators with soft sponges to make them easier to hold for longer periods of time, 3 extra rectangular applicators of different sizes, which will help you speed up the diamond painting in larger areas of the same color, the wax for the applicators, and finally tweezers to help remove the old wax from the applicators before you put new one in, and in case you need to pick up or slightly adjust a diamond already placed on the glue canvas. I have no idea how long the wax is supposed to last on the applicators before you have to change it, so I'll report back on it before the end of the video. The canvas itself feels quite nice. It has a color chart and corresponding symbols on both the left and right side, I guess for convenience. It came with a transparent plastic film on top to protect the sticky glue part of the canvas where the diamonds will be applied to. I also noticed that it has a glittery look on it on the front, and the felt back feels quite nice. I think that although the canvas has some marks from the packaging being squashed during transit, the overall weight of it, plus the weight of the diamonds as they are applied, will help to straighten its shape over time. Another thing I noticed is that the sticky glue goes a little bit over the edge of the painting. I'm not sure if this is common in other diamond paintings, if perhaps it's done to help with framing, or it's done to ensure that there will never be a random edge of painting where the diamonds won't stick to, due to a short glue area. Next, we have a bag that has both the paper instructions and all the diamonds sorted by color. The diamonds come in small Ziploc bags, which I think will be very handy when changing colors and putting them back into their original bags. This way you can easily seal the bags and the diamonds won't just randomly spill off. The instructions also include the color chart with some extra info on the table, some easy step-by-step instructions, and some images at the bottom. I found the color chart quite easy to read. Each diamond bag has the color number that it corresponds to, the color ID, and its weight. Using the color number, which is the first column on the color chart, you can easily see the symbol that is being used in the painting and match it. After the unboxing, I took a quick look at some diamond painting videos, and someone recommended using washi tape to cover the extra glue edges so that they wouldn't get dirt and hair stuck on it. So I decided to do that. I actually removed the whole thin plastic sheet while adding the washi tape borders, as I wanted to see the canvas without so much glare before starting with the diamond painting. If you decide to do the same, please remember which side of the plastic was originally touching the glue, as it is not the same on both sides, and the wrong side will stick very strongly to the glue. Another tip I saw was to section off the canvas. So, after I placed the plastic film back on the canvas, I divided it into 4x4 squares using the washi tape, which gave me 16 sections. However, after working on the first coffee cup, I realized it would make more sense for the sections to be divided around each coffee cup, so I ended up working with 14 sections instead. Before I forget, Craft Ease were also kind enough to give me a discount code to share with you all. This discount code is applicable on the whole website and gives you 20% off. The discount code is INI20 and you can also find it down in the description. Now, this is my first ever diamond painting, but although I've never done one before, I have seen diamond painting videos before, so I know the basics. You put the diamonds into the tray and shake them so that they are the correct side up. You then pick them up with the applicator, which has some wax on the tip, and you place them on the correct color placement on the sticky canvas. Round diamonds look like they are more forgiving in terms of placement than square diamonds, but I forgot to specify the shape I'd like when liaising with Craft Ease. And honestly, I actually enjoyed working with the square diamonds. At first, I tried to make them super straight by using a ruler to push them all into a nice straight line, but that only lasted for about an hour. I also tried using all of the different sized applicator tools, but in the end, my favorites were the single applicator and the smaller applicator which holds 3 diamonds. Every time I tried using the medium and larger applicators, I'd have to bust out the tweezers and manually adjust every single diamond I had just laid down. When I first started working on this diamond painting, I felt that the hardest part wasn't placing the square diamonds on the canvas. You know, they do easily end up crooked. But actually, it was harder to shake the diamonds without spilling them everywhere. I think that maybe a tray with taller outer walls would definitely help with this. So, if you're not familiar with Craft Ease, they are a company that sells both paint by numbers and diamond painting kits, and they actually work with independent artists to create some of their kits. Looking at their website, it looks like you can join in as an artist as well and work with them, but I haven't inquired about this, so I'm not able to share any information on this process. To be really honest, initially I wasn't sure if I wanted to accept this collaboration offer, as I didn't want to accept a free kit just for the sake of receiving something for free. Although this is my first ever collaboration, I want to accept these opportunities only if it makes sense for both my channel and the future of my art. Having said that, when I browsed their website and saw that they have a custom option for both the paint by numbers and the diamond painting kits, I thought it would be really cool if I could turn one of my illustrations into an actual product. Now, turning my own painting into a paint by numbers sounded very redundant, like a painting of a painting, so not very exciting in my opinion, but turning it into a diamond painting sounded a lot more interesting because the image you end up with is a pixelated version of your painting. Besides that, I was curious how Craft Ease would handle not only the texture of the watercolor paper, but also line work, and I wanted to know how the transparency of watercolors would translate into the actual diamond painting. Just for your information, the image I sent them was simply a high-resolution photo of my artwork taken in daylight. As I wanted to see how the artwork would turn out unedited, I didn't remove the watercolor paper texture and I didn't correct the colors on the photo. This artwork also contains both blues and turquoise colors, which are notoriously hard to accurately capture both in photos and video recordings. When looking at the canvas itself, it felt that colors were accurate to what I had sent them. However, the diamond colors are not super accurate to what goes on the canvas. Instead, they find the most accurate color they have available. This means that I did end up with color variations on the finished diamond painting when compared to the original illustration. Overall, there was an increase in the saturation, but there was also one color that was significantly different. Craftease do advise to send photos or images with good contrast, so I feel that these differences are a consequence of what they require in order to produce a visually pleasing diamond painting kit. Stick around until the end of the video to see the comparison. By the way, my illustration ended up having 34 colors in total, and in the 40 by 40 cm format, it translated into a total of 25,600 diamonds. That is a lot. I have to say, I'm quite pleased with how the watercolor paper texture turned out. There were 3 colors used for it: a white, a cream, and a light mint, which makes the background look less flat. I also like how the watercolors themselves look on the canvas, and the line work is also visible, although not very sharp. That is something I was expecting, and something they did mention on their custom diamond painting option. Think of it as a fuzzy or blurry pixelated version of your original painting. If I had gone for a bigger canvas, perhaps the detail would have been even more accurate. But also, since I'm scaling my artwork up, I don't feel that going bigger was exactly a better choice. With the Craftease kits, as you've seen from my unboxing, you get everything you need to do the painting. In the case of the custom diamond painting option, you get to choose the size of canvas and the shape of the diamonds, either round or square. A small note on the canvas size on the custom kits is that you need to make sure that the image you send them matches the width and height ratio of the canvas you select to avoid distortion of the image. In my case, I selected an illustration that was square, so I could receive their smallest square canvas. As you might have noticed, I decided to start working on this painting on the top left corner, and although I occasionally got my hand stuck on the glue, as I'm right-handed, this was the best angle for me to get the square diamonds nice and snug against each other. I feel that this choice was actually crucial in the success of my diamond painting. If I had received round diamonds instead, I don't feel that where I started would have mattered. Regarding the wax, I found that I didn't have to replace the wax on the smaller applicator tool at all, but I did decide to change it once just to see if it was losing its stickiness, which it wasn't. The single applicator though, I had to keep reloading a lot more often, simply because I have a death grip, and I find that sometimes I pressed a little bit too hard on the diamonds when placing them on the canvas. This means that the wax would actually come out of the tip and get stuck on the diamonds themselves, and I would have to rub it off. I can assure you though that in the end I hardly used any of the wax. I ended up misplacing one of the squares, but only used the tiniest corner on the larger wax rectangle that came with the kit. While I was working on the diamond painting, I noticed that a couple of the diamond bags had some rogue colors inside, but it was only 1 or 2 odd ones that were super easy to spot. While I'm mentioning the diamonds, I have to confess that I was unlucky and I actually ran out of 2 of the background colors. I was surprised when this happened, as I had plenty of excess diamonds for all the other colors, as you'll be able to see at the end of the video, so I'm sure this is a very rare occasion and I was just really unlucky. I contacted Craft Ease when I noticed this, and I was informed that in the event that this does happen, they do send extra diamonds to you for free, so I wouldn't worry about this happening to you as well. I didn't want to wait for the extras to arrive to finish the painting, as it was just background colors, so I decided to make do with whatever I had available. Apart from me, I don't think anyone would notice where I went raw with the color placement and freestyled the backgrounds. One thing that surprised me was how hard it would be to see the color placements on the canvas. The glue itself is quite reflective, so it was extremely hard to see the symbols when looking at an angle, and it was especially hard on the darker colors. I've seen some people using a light pad underneath the canvas, but I merely resorted to either using my hand as a shadow against the top light or looking at the canvas right from the top and not sideways. I found that doing this really helped with the glare. So here's the ultimate question. What did I think of this experience? Honestly, I actually loved it. I love how the final diamond painting looks, and it feels awesome to see my illustration used in something other than just a print. Would I buy another diamond painting kit? Yes, as a hobby. But not right now, as I want to focus more on actual painting for the time being. I would also not choose a canvas as big as this one. I think at maximum, I would go for a 20 by 20 cm canvas, and I would actually prefer a mini diamond painting option. You know, a diamond painting you could do in maybe 1 hour. Overall, this whole diamond painting took me 24 hours just to place the diamonds into the canvas. I didn't count into these 24 hours the time that it took to open the diamond bags, put the diamonds into the tray, shake them, which you have to do multiple times per color, and then store them back into their corresponding bags. Those are small things that surely add up, and I estimate that in total I might have worked on this for about 32 hours. And finally, here's a comparison between the original illustration and the finished painting. I think most of the colors are reasonably accurate, although you can definitely see the increase in saturation. The only color that was significantly different was the bottom middle cup. Instead of being a dark turquoise, it was a darker blue on the diamond painting. It still looks good though, so I don't mind the color choice that Craft Ease has made. Some of the colors looked weird as I was placing them, but when I take a step back, they make sense as a whole, as they create these gradients and color blends that just work together. Also, as you can see, most of the creases on the canvas went away, however, there is still one that is easily seen. I feel that over time it will go away, and I'm planning on leaving this underneath something heavy for a while to help the crease fade away. Regarding what I plan on doing with the finished diamond painting, I decided to cut the extra edges off and frame it. Craft Ease does not recommend that the finished diamond painting is sealed, and I've seen some people do it, but I'm hoping that placing it protected behind glass will keep its original look and also keep it dust-free for many years. Time will tell if any of the diamonds pop out in the long run. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely not something I was planning on doing this year, but I couldn't let this opportunity go. Not only was it nice to try something new, but since it took me over a month and a half of total work to get this video finished, I've been left really wanting to paint, which is something I've been struggling with since the beginning of this year. Anyways, if you did like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more future videos. Probably not diamond painting ones though. If you'd like to be notified when my next video comes up, please also click the notification button. I'd like to thank Craft Ease once again for reaching out to me with this opportunity. It was super fun to work on this video and to do such an extreme hyperlapse of 24 hours of work sped up to just 14 minutes. Also, don't forget, if you want to try one of their kits yourself, there's a discount code in the video description for you, which will get you 20% off of your kit. I've also left an affiliate link down in the description for you. You don't have to use it, but I'll be extremely thankful if you do, as it helps to support not only my art, but also this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video!